Hi, my name is Riley Allen. This is my review of Chapter 4 of the Hunger Games titled just Chapter 4. So, they start off where the last one left off, and Haymitch is, covered in his vomit, and he's just like, ugh, I fell, I threw up, I fell. So, Peeta and Katniss drag him to his room and basically shove him in the shower. Peeta offers to do it himself, which Katniss is grateful for, because she's only got like 2 weeks probably to live, and she does not want to spend any moment of those last 2 weeks washing vomit out of Haymitch's chest hair. Fair enough. So she offers to get one of the Capitol attendants to help him to do it, and Peter's like, nah, which she understands because she doesn't want to ask the Capitol people for shit either. And then she realizes that she first thinks Peeta's doing this for some strategy, which is why she's okay with leaving, because Haymitch is so drunk he won't remember it. But then she's like, oh, Peeta's just being kind. And then she remembers the dandelion. The last dandelion. Which, she noticed after Peeta gave her the bread. Which basically made her realize that she could eat those. So she grabbed Prim and filled buckets full of dandelions and other edible greens. And then she proceeded to scour their plant book. It belonged to their mother's family, apothecary. And it had all these medicinal herbs in it. But when Astrid, the mom, married Bardock, he proceeded to add edible plants in there. So Katniss went through into the woods, and she got lucky and killed a rabbit, which brought their mom out of her funk for like a short minute to skin it, cook it, and make it into a stew and whatever before she got confused and went back to bed. They made her eat the stew. She slowly got better though as Katniss brought in the food. And Prim forgave her, but Katniss understandably couldn't. And to Katniss' credit, she felt bad for yelling at her mother, but also at the same time, I kind of feel like that was something that needed to be said by Katniss. Like, if they're never going to see each other again, I feel like that needed to be something she needed to get off her chest. A little bit of that anger she held. And she does say, well, I did say I love her, so maybe that'll balance things out. She mentions that she just couldn't trust that her mother wouldn't check out again. So she built all these walls, and the relationship was never the same again. Oh, man. Hitting the feels. So she mentions that she started trading in the Hob because it doesn't matter who was selling the meat, meat's meat. She started trading with people in the town, learning the tricks, like the butcher only bought rabbits but not squirrels, and the baker would only trade with squirrels when his wife's not around. She ended up finding Katniss tubers, which is what she's named after, a swamp potato, gathering them all, and she proceeded to, quote, be full for the first time in months. Her mom made a comment like, you eat like you'll never see food again, and Katniss is like, yeah, I won't. If I don't bring it in, I won't. Which shut Astrid up. I think Astrid was trying to, bond with her a little bit, make a little joke, and then it absolutely it was kind of a tasteless joke, I guess. Yeah. And then she thinks about how Prim is going to be sleeping in their mom's bed, and that Buttercup will nose his way in and comfort Prim in her sleep. Which makes Katniss glad that she didn't drown the cat. Oh my god, I forgot she was trying to drown that cat. I understand why she was trying to kill the cat. But also at the same time, why drown it? Why couldn't you just grab a knife and slit its throat or something? Why drown it? It's 'cause I want to watch its life. It's 'cause I want to feel the life drain from it. Dear God. So she wakes up and she goes to the breakfast compartment or whatever and sees Peeta embarrassed and Haymitch chuckling. What the hell were they talking about that Haymitch was chuckling and Peeta's embarrassed about? Katniss is introduced to the joys of hot chocolate. And they ask Haymitch for advice, and he's just like, stay alive, which pisses him off. And Katniss hates Haymitch because Effie's right. This is the lifeline. This is their lifeline. And she brings up a kind of a good point, like, is it really just the fact that their tributes are underfed? Or is it because Haymitch gave up a long time ago, and when he did have tributes that could potentially be a victor, he just didn't bother? Hell, the only time he bothered this time is because Peeta knocked the glass out of his hand, and Katniss stabbed the table with her knife, proving they're fighters, which is like, I guess the difference between them and the other people who could have had a chance is these people willing to prove they're fighters, but still, I understand Katniss's anger. And the fact that they had to do all that just for their mentor to be a mentor is kind of sad. Like, I understand Haymitch and Haymitch's point, but also, I understand Katniss and Peeta. Also, Haymitch proceeds to deck Peeta, which dick move, and tells him not to put ice on it. Let it bruise, you know? Let him think you got into a fight, which I don't think it's what Peeta. He points out that it's against the rules, which, yeah, only if you get caught, which the only other tribute in that cart that he could have been fighting with is Katniss. So, we later learn that Peeta's whole goal is getting Katniss home, which absolutely is going to help. That is absolutely going to help Katniss more than Peeta, because it's going to make... Because I think, like, Katniss is one of the smallest tributes, and Peeta is probably one of the bigger ones. It made her seem like, damn, that little girl dicked the shit out of that big boy. Holy shit. Need to look out for her. Haymitch asks her if she can hit something with a knife, and she proceeds to stick it into the wall. And she says, it's a better shot than I was trying to make. I was just trying to hit it. It made her seem like she's a better shot than she is. And I wonder if that's Katniss just, like, downplaying her skills, and, like, she's actually a pretty decent shot with a knife. It's just she downplays it. Also, I kind of feel like I don't think her knife skills ever come into play ever again. And I feel like that's a missed opportunity. Like, I feel like even if it didn't succeed, I feel like we could have had Katniss throw a knife so this could have some little playback. Whatever. I could be wrong. It has been a while since I have read this book, and I only read it once, but I don't think she ever throws a knife again. So Haymitch agrees to stay sober enough to mentor them and dips, while the train goes through a mountain, which reminds Katniss of the fact that her father died in a dark mine cave-in, which kind of sends her to a panic attack a little bit. So they get to the Capitol, and all these people are cheering, and it disgusts Katniss, because they're cheering for her death. But Peeta's just waving like, hey, hey, and she's like, and he's like, what? One of them might be rich. And that makes Katniss realize, oh yeah, he has not accepted his death. The kind the boy with bread is trying to kill me. And it kind of plays back to something earlier in the chapter, which I forgot to mention. She says, a kind Peeta Mellark is far dangerous to me than an unkind one. So she proceeds to grab the cookies that his father gave him and chuck it out. Unfortunately for her, it landed in the dandelions, which of course brought up the dandelion thing. Also, She was giving Peeta some big brain moment credit. Just like, is he the one that sent her father? His father? No. I don't think so. I think Otho Malark, which we learned his name in Sunrise on the Reaping, did that of his own volition. Overall, I'm going to give this chapter an 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next video.